So basically, it started out during my homecoming week in high school. And during our homecoming week in my small town, it's a tradition that we have a parade. We have a homecoming parade for our seniors that are graduating this year, and we basically they have vans, like vans. And the seniors all get together with their friends. They get a van and they choose a theme. And our theme, oh excuse me, our theme was Super Troopers, like the movie about smoking weed and doing all this bad shit and eating schnozberries. Now, while the school didn't really care about our themes because it's tradition, everybody just chooses one. We're running out of themes because it's been going on for like 50 years. It's been going on forever where people do this. And while I will say that our van did not win like the best van competition because the school votes on who is going to win, like best decorated or best well done, the most well done van. And I will probably make a video recording our van and putting it up sometime in the future because I want that video and I want to have that van forever because we're more than likely going to sell it for the seniors next year because everything in it is well done. Like to make a kai van, that's what the tradition was called. The tradition is called kai, and we chopped the roof off the van. We cut a big old hole in it, and then yeah, we just paint it and decorate it, and we put it in the parade. And right now, I will say that our van, it wasn't even really a van. It was basically a fucking party bus. Like we were those kids. We just cared about really having a good time. And the school and basically everybody knew that. Everybody knew that we were gonna be booze cruising. We were gonna have some fun in our van. Because every night in that homecoming week, all the vans get together and they drive around at night. That was one of the most like just great experiences I've ever had and probably will ever have. Just being in the parade, or not even in the parade, just driving around at night with all, you know, in a caravan with 12 vans just following each other around our little town and just having fucking fun. It was insane. And when you're caravanning around with the roof chopped off and all this other stuff, you see all your classmates and just everybody just having fun. But now on to the part where we got caught for underage drinking. Not I don't remember exactly how many people we had. I'm not going to sit here and count because I'm just going to go with it because not all of our van members were in the van when we got caught. I will say that right now. And I will not be using real names just because I haven't asked anybody. Nobody in my real life like that I know doesn't even know that I make YouTube videos with RuneScape gameplay in the background. So in my van at this point, basically we went to a party. We went to one party and then two of our van members got in a fight. And right now I'm going to go over our van members that were in the van at this point, at this time of the night. Roger and Junior, they were my cousins. Roger is basically known as the kid who is crazy and will do anything. And Junior is my other cousin. He is Roger's brother, and Junior has he was born with a birth defect and he lost his left eye. And Derek is he basically paid for the entire van. I'm gonna be honest with you. We all paid to get in. Like we all paid around $200 to get this whole thing moving, but Derek put so much money and just time into it. He basically did everything for us, and I'm forever grateful for that. And Miles is basically the school's weed dealer. He'll sell weed to your honor student. Like he doesn't give a shit. But he's not an asshole. He's really chill. But he can. The only time he'll be mean is if you're mean or like are trying to start some shit with him. Other than that, he's basically the chillest dude. And Pablo. Pablo was our last minute person to get into the van because he said he wanted in, and we just thought, well, 200 more bucks, we're just gonna let him in. Now on to when we got caught. When we had to leave the first party because we're gonna go party hop. We're the Super Troopers, we're the party bus. We're gonna go to every single party that we possibly can on our homecoming Friday night. Like we're gonna do this shit. And the time we left the first party, Derek and Miles were both fighting because, as I said, Miles he's the weed dealer. Like he just smokes weed all day and night. And at this party, Derek said, "Weed's not cool. You can't smoke at this party." And like it's a fucking party. We're parked in a van in like the middle of nowhere, and Derek was getting all butthurt about Miles just smoking, Miles and Pablo smoking, I should say. So the first party, it didn't get crashed, but there was a lot of college students there. And while we're high school kids, we don't really want to fuck with college students yet because we're gonna see them next year, to be honest with you. And a lot of them are just uptight and like I don't know. It's just not a good mixture. So we left the first party. We left the first party in the van, and We weren't drunk, but we weren't sober. At this point, Roger Jr., Derek, and Miles and myself, we were all intoxicated with alcohol. But Pablo, he was fake drinking. Pablo is the type of dude who would rather just smoke weed than drink. But onto before we went to this party. Before we went to this party, we spent around $200 just in alcohol alone, and we all pitched in to buy fruit and a bunch of Hawaiian punch. We made jungle juice, and jungle juice is basically a bunch of Hawaiian. You get a tote, like a little like a moving tote, but it wasn't a big ass one. It was just like a medium sized tote that you can just store shit in. And what we did is basically we poured all the alcohol, all the Hawaiian punch in, and we had I don't know how many bottles it was, but it was like 8 to 10 bottles of alcohol definitely, and we had 5 or 6 Hawaiian punches, big old gallon jugs of Hawaiian punch, and we poured it all in the tote, and then we got fruit and we chopped up the fruit, dumped that in there too, and then we bottled it. We put it in the Hawaiian punch bottles, and we had our whole weekend planned out because we filled back up to 6 jugs of Hawaiian punch, and we still had around like I would say 2 to 3 more jugs left in that tote. And at this party we were going to, we brought two. We brought 2 jugs of jungle juice. Now you might be like, 2 jugs to a party? Are you fucking dumb? How is that? Is that even a party? But the 2 jugs were just for us in the van, the 5 or 6 of us, counting myself. It was just for us that night. So when we left the first party, we weren't drunk, but we weren't sober, like I said. And we were going to the next party driving. But our van, it was running low on gas. Or at least we thought. Derek thought it was running low on gas. The guy who made the van, the guy who's driving the van, who is not sober. So the fucking genius that Derek is, tries to pull a U-turn in the middle of fucking nowhere. And of course, there was a police officer with his headlights off, all lights off, just waiting for somebody on homecoming night to just fuck up so we could pull him over. Now, obviously, the officer might not have been waiting for like a kid or somebody to fuck up like that, but it seemed like that because it's homecoming night. You're in the middle of nowhere by this, I don't know if it was a well-known party spot, but he knew that somebody might drive by or somebody might just fuck up so he can pull them over. So we pull the U-turn. Derek pulls the U-turn. The cop pulls us over. Now we're on the side of the road, and I'm shitting my pants at this point. I'm gonna be dead serious because I'm a good kid. I wouldn't say I'm the best kid, but I try to stay away from all the crazy shit. Like there's some kids in our school that deal drugs and do all this other shit, and like I'm trying to stay away from that. The only thing or like the worst thing I've done is basically smoked weed. Like drinking alcohol underage, that in my book that's not bad. That's not a fucking bad thing. Every high school kid probably will do that. So while we're pulled over, I'm shitting my pants at this point, like I said. And while the cop comes up to Derek, who is driving and is intoxicated, the cop knows what's up. And Derek gets pulled out, of course, because he is driving. He gets brought back into the police officer's car. He fails the breathalyzer test. And you might be like, oh, well, he can just do a breathalyzer test on anyone. The officer can. If he smelled alcohol on an underage kid, I'm pretty sure you can run a breathalyzer test, like no matter what. So Derek fails. Next person to go in is myself. I go in, I blow, and I blew a .45, which is half the legal limit, but it doesn't matter. I consumed alcohol underage as a minor. So he writes out the ticket, he gives me a court date, sends me on my fucking way. Next person to go in is Miles, the weed dealer. Sells weed to your honor student, whatever. He goes in. I don't know what he blows. I don't know what anybody else blew, but he fails. Roger, my cousin, the cool cousin that everybody knows, he fails also. Now, I will say this. The only people who did not fail the drug test were Pablo and Junior. Junior was the kid who didn't have an eye, and Pablo was the kid who fake drunk, drinked. I don't know. But But Pablo did something that we told him absolutely not to. Pablo brought weed onto the fucking bus. We told him absolutely not. Do not bring that shit on the fucking Kai van on homecoming night, because if we get pulled over underage with fucking drugs in our van, we're gonna get fucked, we're gonna get rode, we're gonna get raped, we're gonna get whatever. And while I fail my test, Roger fails his test, Derek fails his test, Miles fails his test, Junior and Pablo do not fail because Pablo fake drank, and Junior, like I said, he didn't have an eye. He wasn't really like the party kid. He just really cared about his grades and stuff in school. But it's homecoming night of your senior year. You want to have some fun. So Junior and Pablo did not get underages. They did drink a little bit, but it was like they blew a point like .01 on the breathalyzer. Wasn't shit. But all the other people in the bus, or why do I keep calling it a bus? In the van, blew like a .05, which is a little over half the legal limit, I want to say. But yeah, I gotta say, that's pretty much it. Out of the 4 people, or actually 5 people, nope, 4 people, my bad. 4 people, 4 of the 7 people that were in the van, we got underages. My fine, it was a $320 fine. It was a $120 fine from the judge for alcohol, for underage alcohol consumption, and then I had to pay $200 to take 4 classes, because apparently if you underage drink, you have a fucking problem. So in conclusion, don't drink alcohol and drive. Just don't. It's not worth it.
Man, I don't give a fuck about a motherfucking pole. I'ma pull up with that stick and hit your mother